Normally, I'm a gray day kind of gal, which means I'll often pull back a curtain, see a sky filled with threatening clouds, and fist pump while whispering, "Yes!" But even I feel the need for occasional sunshine and bright colors, which is why this session is all about a floral painting. Hi, I'm Irene. This is Inkworks, and nothing says spring like flowers, even difficult to identify ones. My favorite gouache is Holbein's Artist Gouache, but I didn't have the colors from them that I wanted for this piece. So I dug out my bin of Vinci brand gouache, and I found what I needed there. A bright yellow, a couple of greens, a blue, and a red. I also added a blob of white later on. Don't get me wrong, Holbein has all of the colors you could want. It's just that most of my Holbein tubes come from their autumn and winter Iridori sets. Those colors are either muted or dark, so not suited for a spring floral piece. The paper is by Talens. It's their 4.5 by 4.5 inch art creation sketchbook. The diminutive size makes for a novel arting experience. Initially, I was planning for one side to be the painting, with the other side as a swatch chart. But then I thought, no, I want a double dose of cheer, thus a full 2-page painting. Speaking of flowers, we currently have a few blooms on our rhodie bushes, and the ornamental plum trees have blossomed as well. And now I'm convinced flower power is real, because I'm now feeling less boo and more yay. Well, that and chatting over the phone with my sister always cheers me up. That happened the other night. She has a positive attitude even through hardship, and I'm trying to emulate her. One of my childhood memories was watching my sister create a costume for a party she was going to. She'd already taken home economics classes in high school, so she knew her way around a sewing machine. And we'd both pored over a hardbound collection of Alex Raymond's Flash Gordon comic strip multiple times. Well, she managed to replicate one of Dale Arden's dresses, and I thought that was so impressive. My child's mind was blown. Anyway, I often think of that while watching modern makers such as Rachel Maxey, because what they do is so amazing to me. If I could be great at one craft, I'd choose sewing, soap making, woodworking. I watched a lot of PBS's The Woodwright Shop back in the 1980s. The series was hosted by Roy Underhill, who demonstrated how to use hand tools to create things like toys, cupboards, and rocking chairs. Honestly, though, I wouldn't hold up under all of the scrapes and calluses. Thankfully, watercolorists don't have to deal with that. How did I get on this topic? The brushes used for this piece were all from the Princeton brand, a couple from their Real Value line, and a couple from the Select line, too. Mostly flats. But before I'd even set bristles to paper, I'd put some thought into the process. I figured the best way was to lay down the background layers first, including the grassy delineation, then add the blooms on top, instead of trying to paint grass around the flowers. And it worked. The only troublesome part was, well, Okay, I was trying to paint daffodils, but there was no reference image and things were starting to go south. So I switched gears and went for a more general floral appearance. Uh, that's why it looks like that. A lot of times when things like that happen, I'm all, well, that was disappointing. But this is one of those times where, in the end, it turned out better than I'd hoped for. That's right. The final result gets a 9 out of 10. Come at me, haters. The power of flowers is on my side. Now, I don't want to forget this, so I'm inserting a shout out here. Don't worry, this won't take long. To the peeps who left comments on the most recent video and community posts: Parlay Kate, Monte Cruz 2618, Rainy City 2020, Art on the Creek, Penfilled, J&G Bialik, and Sosumi Rogue. You all made my day. This time of year, I start singing When the Buds Are Blossoming from Ruddigore while tootling around the house, whether I'm cleaning, cooking, or arting, because you can't do that sort of thing in public. Fortunately for me, Seattle is close by and they have a Gilbert and Sullivan fan club. Unfortunately, I don't think they have monthly get-togethers. Imagine entering the Fairmont Olympic Hotel for a pleasant afternoon tea, only to find their lobby has been taken over by tipsy cosplaying GNS fans performing patter songs. Right? You'd flip. Actually, besides their annual stage production, Seagas, yes, the Seattle Gilbert and Sullivan Society calls themselves Seagas. Besides their annual stage production, they hold a yearly gala. Look, you have to pay a membership fee to participate and receive perks like discounts on merch and tickets to shows and events. That's one way of getting in on the fun. Or you can volunteer your time and energy to paint sets for free. I mean, bragging rights? Actually, the past few years have been problematic for the group, and I understand they haven't put on a show since 2022. Boo! Thank goodness for flowers. Yay! Well, that was a Mad Margaret moment for sure. Mad Margaret had gone insane early on in Ruddigore, and the other characters had to put up with her. Just saying. There is a downside to spring, and that's all of the insect activity. I know they're essential to a healthy bioscape, but when they're in my studio, they're a nuisance and a little scary. There was a wasp and a fly this week, and I flashbacked to all of those creature features with mutated insects and bugs. The fly, them, the giant spider invasion. So I took care of them with my rolled up voters pamphlet. Hey, if it's at least keeping my art space nuisance free, it's doing some good. I'm happy to share this art session. My Da Vinci gouache hasn't seen much action yet, but that's only because I love Holbein's gouache so much. Da Vinci's gouache works just fine, as you can see, which is a good thing considering Holbein is a Japanese brand and can be pricey in the States, whereas Da Vinci, based in California, is more affordable here. Until next time, remember to be positive, even if you're feeling a little like Mad Margaret, saying odd things and making everyone uncomfortable. And stay artsy, my friends.